Today we're going to ship some orders. I've got 6 orders going out today, and I've got a decent assortment. I've got a few pieces of cookware here, nothing too big. I've got a big tiger mascot head going out. I've got a pair of dress shoes, and I've got a big tool in a hard case that's going out as well. So a decent assortment of items. I do get some occasional questions about how I pack and ship items. So I thought, with this assortment, it'd be a good time to just do it all live. If I edit this video at all, it's not going to be because I'm doing anything tricky. It might be because I fumble my words at some point. But yeah, so I'm going to do it all live. And just feel free, if you see anything I'm doing wrong, just point it out down in the comments, light me up. If you have any comments or questions beyond what I'm doing here, feel free to leave those down in the comments as well, and I will respond to you. But yeah, let's get into it. So whenever I'm about getting ready to ship, I don't always have everything setting right here. Usually it's kind of setting off to a little bit off to the side, but I'll just show you what I use whenever I'm preparing to ship. So I've got my tape gun here loaded up. This is I put a fresh roll of tape on so I wouldn't have to change tape mid-packing session today. This is a 25-cent tape gun that I pulled out of a garage sale, so I know they can be a little bit expensive. I got my handy dandy eBay tape measure to make sure all my packages are the right size. I've got my 50-cent estate sale scissors that could probably cut your finger off if you're not careful. Those things are awesome. I've got my little Walmart brand Sharpie penning gear permanent marker so I can write thank you notes on the boxes before I send them off. I've got handheld stretch wrap that I use to instead of using tape inside the box, if I'm wrapping up a product, instead of using tape because it's kind of a pain, I use stretch wrap so people can unwrap it and they're not having to tear stuff or cut stuff. It's real easy to get loose. And then right down here I've got my digital scale that will hold up to 300 pounds. It's got a little display. It's got a little curly cord and a display, LCD display or LED display. And then my phone here. So I do all my shipping. I do just about everything from my phone. Most of my listing. I do a little bit on my laptop, but most everything I do from my phone. Photos, listing, shipments, print my labels, everything. So I just use the eBay app whenever I need to ship by April 2nd. That's today. And then right here I've got my I don't know if you can see that. So that's my printer. It's a Munbin printer, and right now it's turned off. So it's a thermal printer. Picked that up on Amazon. I think they run almost all the time. They've got some kind of coupon. They run about 70 bucks. And then they just take regular 4x6 thermal labels. They've got their own brand of thermal labels. You can get different brands of thermal labels and run through them. The ones I have now, I picked up at Walmart because I ran out. And I thought I had another pack. I didn't, so I had to run over there. Luckily, they have them on their shelf. Walmart even sells off their shelf a printer that looks exactly like that. That's their own brand. You could, if you're a reseller and you don't know where to buy shipping supplies, you could go to Walmart and they have a little packing section where the printers, and you don't need that. You can print off an inkjet or LaserJet printer at home, but they've got thermal printers, labels, padded mailers, poly bags, clear poly. They've got everything you need basically to get started. If you just have, 20-30 bucks to buy some shipping materials without the label printer, you could go to Walmart and get started. But Amazon, eBay have a lot of that stuff as well. Yeah. So one thing, in case anybody has any questions about, I do reuse a lot of boxes. My dad hunts down a lot of boxes for me. I've got a guy I hooked up with on Facebook Marketplace. I found him. He goes to some local comic book shops, picks up boxes, packing materials, and when he has a carload, he drives a station wagon. When he has a carload, calls me up or messages me, and I meet him at Panera just down the street, and I get a carload for 10 bucks, which is a sweet deal. So everything for my dad is free, 10 bucks there. I have so little money into my packing materials. I'm really blessed there. I'm not, it does, you know, I do buy a few boxes. So I've got some boxes stacked up right over here. I'll ship mugs in that I get from Walmart. It's a little 7x7x7. I've got a couple other boxes. I was running severely low on boxes one day and I had to buy a handful. But and then I buy some boxes at Lowe's and Home Depot. So for shipping like big vacuums, stuff that I'm going to ship through FedEx home delivery, if it's a really big box, I may buy some of their moving boxes. In which case, you know, you're spending anywhere from $2 to $5 per box, depending on the size. It just varies, but I'd say about 98% of my shipments go out in upcycled boxes that I'm buying off Facebook Marketplace, getting from my dad and my wife. She works at OU, and she works in the dean's office, and they get tons and tons of packages in for random stuff from Amazon and other places, and so she's been saving boxes for me as well. I've got a bunch of them right up here actually that I brought home. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to start with a few of the smaller things just to get them out of the way, and then we'll jump into some of the bigger stuff. And like I said, any questions or comments, feel free to drop those in the comments. Questions or comments, put them in the comments. One thing I've failed to neglect in past videos, if you have any questions and you don't want to ask them in the comments, you can email me directly at reclaimedrepublic@gmail.com. So you can send an email there and I'll respond to your questions there as well. All right, let's get started. So first item we're going to do is this is a Farberware saucepan. This is a 5/8 quart. It's a real odd size, but it's for making sauces. It's got a little pour spout, so you can melt butter or do like sauce reductions in it. Gonna use this box here. This is a box. I've got a bunch of these. My dad's picked these up at his local phone company. They've been doing a lot of projects, and they get all the phones and equipment out of these boxes, and they toss them in their cardboard dumpster. So he goes every couple days, opens up the dumpster, and digs out these really nice little gift boxes. They're lightweight, so they're not super heavy to ship, but they're really, really great to use. And I have my bubble wrap right back here, roll of bubble wrap. I've got a little bit of loose bubble in that bin right up here, and then packing paper here, which I also get from the guy on Facebook Marketplace. A lot of the boxes he brings me are full of packing paper and different kinds of like bubble wrap or bubble sheets. So I'm just going to take this guy, wrap it a couple times like that. I've been buying this bubble wrap. This bubble wrap I got on eBay. This is my second roll. I've got more on the way. That's why I have the scissors. I cut my my stretch wrap. I know you can tear it. I hate tearing it. It's a pain in the neck. You get all these weird jagged stringy edges, and it's just clean to cut it. So that's kind of what that looks like. Fits in there perfectly, and I still have a little bit of extra room to put more packing material, just to keep it from rattling around the entire time. Like I said, I just kind of put some around it right there. I'll put 2 pieces just like that. Then here's the test. Nothing. You can hear nothing moving around in that box. That means it's packed well. that one's ready to go. Let's see what it weighs. £1 6 ounces. All right, so now let's get hooked up to the printer here. This is a Bluetooth printer, so I'm connecting now. Now it's connected. Now I can just ship right from my phone. I've had a few questions about how I print from my phone. Because it's a Bluetooth printer, the printer brand Munbyn, it's M-U-N-B-Y-N. I have links for it in the description. It they have their own app. So whenever I buy the label, so I purchase the shipping label, and then it gives you options to print, save, or like save PDF or something. I hit save on, this is the way it works on this one. I hit save label, and then a bar pops up so I can open the label if I want to in an app. So I hit open. The Munbyn printer app is one of the options. So I hit open in the app, print, and there we go. Prints off for me. So let's see, I said £1 6 ounces. I always add 1 ounce for the label. So £1. It's not, the labels don't weigh an ounce, but I add them. So we have a 12 by 8 by 6 box, which I already had the dimensions properly in here. I knew I was going to use this box whenever I listed this item. So buyer paid $7.67 for shipping. I pay $7.67 for shipping. It's nice when you can make a little bit of money to cover the fees, because eBay does charge fees on the shipping because it is revenue. So I do need to get a little bit better about that, about bumping my measurements just a hair, and making that little bit of extra money to cover those fees. Or just make more money on the items. I can do that too. All right. Going all the way to Gray, Tennessee. And write a little note. I know that takes 10 seconds, but I like doing it. So I put a little note right there at the bottom. I just put, thank you for your purchase, enjoy, and send it on its way. All right, we've got another saucepan. This is a Flavorite Thermium Multiplex Stainless Steel, made in USA. This is it doesn't say it on here, but I'm certain that back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, West Bend made that, private labeled it for those folks. And the reason I say that is because they did that back then, and if you look at West Bend versus a whole bunch of other brands, they all look very similar. Even Salad Master, they have that very same look around the bottom, the way the lids fit in the top. Really the only difference between all of them, even right here, it's inscribed about the same, is the handles. They did different handles on all the different brands. And some of them the way they attach, but a lot of them even attach the same, it's just different handles. I probably don't need to do the bubble wrap over the item. It's just a little picky thing that I do, so that whenever the buyers open it, customers open it, they know that you took extra care in packaging their item. This thing is so heavy, and you'd have to throw it off a roof on concrete to dent it or hurt it. Even the handles, the older handles, are extremely well built, very, very strong. So there we go. So I just put a little base layer in the box. Saucepan in there. Put a little bit kind of on down the sides, around the ends. But honestly, you could probably do that bubble wrap and put it in a giant poly bag and ship it, and it'd probably get there perfectly fine. I just don't have enough guts to try that and make a customer mad. People like to get mad when something could have happened, even if it didn't. So I don't want to chance it. But let's see. That's what it looks like. Kind of got a little cocoon around it. We'll just throw some more packing paper on top. Good shape. I'm noticing now that I packed it upside down the way I did the box. That's okay. I don't know if I planned on this big of a box for that. I should have, but we'll see if I mess this one up or not. 3 pounds, 3 ounces. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put I've got a sample label I keep printed off to put on the box to see if it changes at all. Because sometimes when you're right on the edge between being at a full pound or under, makes a difference. Still 3 pounds, 3 ounces. So that's what we're going to roll with. Let's get in there on the eBay app. I did see somebody at the post office yesterday shipping a bunch of stuff. It looks like he sold online. One of the post office guys goes, "Man, your sales are really ramping up." And he was sitting there shipping retail at the post office, and he must have had smaller items. They look like they could have been maybe some kind of media or something, but it looked like he had, I don't know, 15, 18 items. In my head, I'm like, why in the world are you doing that? Of course, I don't know how he's selling them, but even you could use pirate ship and save money, which if you don't know about pirateship.com, it's doesn't cost anything, and you save. Similar to eBay, it's very similar pricing. You can save money on pirate ship. So I had this at 3 pounds. Usually I do these at, I guess, usually Farberware I put at 3 pounds because it's lighter weight. I should have put this one at 4 pounds. I don't know if that's going to matter though. We're going to see. 14 by 11 by 8. I had it 14, 12, 9. So we'll see. 3, 14, 11, 8. That should help, even though it's 3 ounces over the weight. Really? That's a bummer. What would it have been if I'd have been at 3 pounds? Yeah. Those 3 ounces got me by $1. Okay. Well, I just learned something. And it cost me. That 3 pound mark is critical. I didn't realize. So I'm going to spend an extra $1.03 on this one, which stinks, but it's not the end of the world. And I'm going to make it up on another package, so I'm not worried about that. it'll be in my weekly video, but last week I think I made about $40 on shipping through the course of a week. I had a couple of shipments in particular that really had a big upside for me on shipping that worked out. And I'm probably spending, I don't know, $5 a week in packing materials, somewhere in there. So making that is it's pretty nice. All right, we're gonna do the chicken bucket next. This is a wacky little wacky little thing I found at Goodwill. Whenever I saw it said chicken bucket on there, I was like, that's pretty interesting. And then my wife and I were at a local chicken place over on the north side of Oklahoma City, and they said broasted chicken. My wife goes, what's that? And they go, well, we do it in pressure cookers back there. And so this is a pressure fryer, and I'm like, really? That's interesting. So it makes it crispy but not greasy, and because theirs are in pressure cookers, they're not fried at all, not in frying oil. But this past weekend, I was watching a show that a lady at the thrift store recommended. Actually, a lady that sold me these shoes over here. Called The Food That Built America. And in one of the, like the second or third episode, they get into Colonel Sanders, and how he took a pressure cooker from Europe and modified it, and he made the very first pressure fryer, homemade invention, and that's how, you know, that kind of chicken started getting made in the U.S. was from Colonel Sanders. And a gas station. He had a gas station and served food there. Where's that box? Oh. This is a wacky box. It folds into shape. And I wasn't going to use it. I was like, you know what? By the time it happened to be perfect for this. By the time I have the stuffing in there and the tape and all that, it's going to be perfectly fine. There's not going to be any issues with that at all. Set the base layer in. Set the chicken bucket in there. Again, I'm just going to build a little cocoon around it. Kind of see, so I've got the main cocoon built. Then I'll just start filling in around it and on top. One thing I'm thinking about is if I could probably cut that open. Well, I could cancel the label. If I had stuffed just bubble wrap in there and not used paper, that would have saved the 3 ounces. Paper is heavier than bubble wrap. Normally I have it factored in. That one was just a little bit of an oversight. Usually I factor in paper, and then I can save money on bubble wrap if I want to. But that was an oversight on my part, that's for sure. Alright, so, yep, that's the little doodad on top. Let's make it a little bit of a rattling noise. But that sits under the top of the lid, so there's a gap there where it's going to wiggle around. This one I'm going to run tape. Around that way. And that's not going to go anywhere. So 5 pounds, 4 ounces. Hopefully I didn't mess this one up. We'll see. We'll see. I had it at 5 pounds. Man, this is not going to be my day. And I had it as 12, 12, 12. This box is like 12 and a quarter each way. So it's like 13, 13, 12. Of course, the time... Yesterday I made money on my shipping. Today I have it on camera and I'm not making money on my shipping. Once you go over 12, that is such a stinking deal that I did. And over 5 pounds. It's like $5 over. Let's see if I do the 13, 13, 12, but I'm at 5 pounds. What does that do? Nope, it's $5 over. All right. I hate doing this, but I want to find another box, a 12, 12, 12. 12, 8, 10. Well, it goes sideways in there. We're going to see what we can do here. I've talked about this before, saving time versus money, and for $5, I'm going to mess around with it and see what I can do. It might not be worth the money. I don't know. I'm going to have to do the calculation on time, but if it takes me 10 minutes, it's worth it, but so that's not going to fit in that way, but I'm wondering if I can get it to fit in with the lid off and the parts separate. I might be able to do that. Got part of it and not all of it. Okay. So I'm actually going to see if that will go in here. Okay. So what's getting it is there we go. Like, this thing pops loose, I know it. I may put that in separate. Let's see, will that go now like that? 100%. Okay. So that's the ticket. I was just being a goofball and putting it in the wrong box. That's my fault. So to keep this from rattling around still, I'm going to do this. And I'll keep the lid on nice and tight so it doesn't slip off. Easy solved. Wrap this piece separate. Okay. So now it looks kind of like that, and then I'll shove more packing in around it. The good thing is, this thing, the Wherever products are made out of aluminum that, again, you could throw off of a building and probably chip the concrete, not the pot. I feel like that was 5 minutes, but we'll see. Now let's weigh it. And now we're probably, because it's a smaller box, we're probably under 5 pounds now. Yeah. 4 pounds, 7 ounces. So let's go back. $12 by 9 by 11. Now we're probably going to make money. Maybe. Let's see. 12 by 9 by 11. 4 pounds, 7 ounces. Buyer paid $9.72. I paid $9.72. Did not make money, but I didn't lose money. So let's see what we got here. Save label. Open the label. In the app. Preview and print. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do the tiger head. I really needed probably a little bit bigger box. I should have planned for a bigger box, I should say, on this guy. So that's it. Picked that up at Goodwill. It's pretty cool. But so what I'm going to do, I'm just pushing the back end, styrofoam inside, so it's not hurting this thing. Push it down, and then I'm going to cut this down a couple inches so I can actually get the shipping the way it needs to be. I don't cut down a ton of boxes, but I do cut down boxes. Make sure we're in good shape. This is a double wall box. A duty box, but it's the right size. Yeah. Yeah, we're under 4 pounds. In good shape. See how much we need to cut down. So it's 14. I was going to cut it down to 12. So I'm going to do 11.5 from the inside because there's flaps on the bottom. I might fast forward to this part so we don't have to watch me cutting the box down for a bunch of time. Bad boy in there. I throw an extra piece of cardboard here on top so that if they cut into it with a box cutter, it doesn't cut into the item. Under 12 inches. ready to go with this guy. £3, 12 ounces. So let's see if we're saving any money, we're breaking even, we're losing money. All right, 17 by 14 by 12. Buyer paid $19.96. I'm paying $20.56, so I'm paying 60 cents extra on this one. Man, this is not a great shipping day for me. This is less than great. Save label, open. Usually if I have shipping label remnants on here that weren't coming off properly, I just put my new label right over them. There's a little piece there, I can probably just peel that off. That guy done. Now we'll do these shoes. Get this box started. Let's see, this is the bottom. Let's see what size box I had planned for these shoes. Should have done 14, yeah. 16. Here's 14, 12, 9. Let's see. 10, 7. Let's see what 14, 10, 7 looks like. Or 16, 10, 7, sorry. We have the same price. Yeah, but we're going to be a little bit under on weight, I think. So this is fine. Using eBay boxes, their paper fiber tape can get kind of janky, so a lot of times we'll tear it off. Thank you. Hope to see you again. Please check out our website for more goods. It's not my website. Alright, here's the shoes we're shipping. These are super cool. These are FootJoy. These are vintage from the 60s. These are lizard skin. Pretty slick. FootJoy makes golf shoes, golf cleats, but back then they also made really nice penny loafers and tassel loafers. This is my shoes. So I like putting shoes whenever I ship them in individual poly bags before I wrap them up to ship them. I think it looks just a little bit more professional. Poly bags cost, I don't know, 4 cents, 5 cents, something in that neighborhood. Makes perfect sense to me to wrap them up and just make it the presentation just a little bit nicer when they open the box. These aren't ultra high-end shoes, but they did pay $50 plus tax and shipping. So they're into them for about 70 bucks. So I think it matters. So I'm going to put them in just like that. I'm going to wrap the bubble wrap around them. Just kind of tuck it down, and then I'm going to stuff bubble wrap all the way around as well. We've got bubbles stuffed all the way around it. Put a couple pieces of packing paper across the top. Yep. If you are reusing boxes, you want to make sure that these labels aren't showing. So I'm going to put a label, my shipping label, right there. Let's see what we got on weight. £2, 15 ounces. I had them at 4 pounds. A lot of times the weight doesn't matter as much as the dimensions. Not always, but a lot of times. Make sure I'm right on the money. Yep. 16, 10, 7. Yep. Save. I made a little bit of money back. So the weight did matter on this one. $10.94 is what they paid. I paid $10.08, so I'm making 86 cents. Oop, what did I do there? There we go. And print. Be interested to get some feedback on these shoes. So I paid $27.50 for them. Whenever I was shopping, I didn't have great reception in this building I was in, so it's taking forever for things to load. And I Google Lensed them, and I saw listed on like Poshmark and Etsy and different places for like 125, 150 bucks. So I went and picked them up. Then whenever I went to list them on eBay, they were worth maybe $50 to $60. I ended up selling them on an offer for $50.91. So I paid $27.50. I sold them for $50.91. Now you got to take fees out of that, but I sold them in about 12 hours. So, would you have done that? Pay $27.50, sell them for $50.91, and but sell them in 12 hours. I think my cash is going to be in good hands there. Not going to be, I don't think I'm in bad shape there. If they'd taken 2 weeks or a month, or 2 weeks isn't even horrible, but a month, 60 days to sell, I would have been a little bit more apprehensive about spending that. So All right, and the last item, this is going to be our biggest, heaviest item, I should say. So this thing has these little individual boxes in here that lift out. I swear they do because I had them out. But they're full of parts. So I'm just going to put some bubble wrap in there just to keep everything from jingling around while it's shipping. Well, not two pieces, apparently. At least not this one. Let's see. This one there. Yeah, a few pieces. And that one. This thing's slapping around a little bit. The good thing about stuff like this, it's such a protective case. You probably don't even really need packing material for it. Whenever you get stuff like this online, if you buy it from like Lowe's or Home Depot or Amazon or anywhere, tools in cases like this, it's literally the tool in the case, in the box, no packing material. That's it. I am going to use packing material. Not a ton, but just in case anybody was wondering, I did pre-select all the boxes before I started the video or anything like that. I don't just happen to have the perfect boxes for each item laying around here. I have so many different sizes of boxes. I probably did spend, I don't know, 5 minutes pulling the boxes out before I started filming. That's a comment, that's fine. Okay. Happens to be just right about the right size for this item. Just like pretty good. You know what I didn't do is I didn't take the measurements of the box to make sure I wasn't really messing myself over on this. Hopefully I was smarter than that, but you know, we've seen otherwise today, that's for sure. 20 by 16 by 8. Hopefully this is like an 18-inch box. It's like a 21-inch box. By 16 by 8, so it's that inch. I don't think that's going to kill me, but we're gonna, well, let's see. Now let's see how much it weighs. The weight is not insignificant, that's for sure. £13, 6 ounces. I had 13 pounds. Boy, am I just messing this up big time today? It's 50 cents. Okay. When it's that big, I guess that the little difference doesn't matter. All right, that was not an edit. That was a battery change. My battery died just mid-tape here, so. All right. Finish getting this guy taped up. And those don't tear up very easily, like just right away. I just get new labels. Put right over the top of it. Now let's put my new shipping label right there. All right, so yeah, they paid $19.44. I'm paying $19.96, so I'm going 52 cents over on this one. Purchase shipping label. This is going, wow, this is going to Oregon. It's going to go a little ways. I had this one listed for less than 24 hours too. I listed it within about 30 minutes of those shoes, and I sold this first thing yesterday. So I sold this in about 10 hours probably. I knew with all the extra accessories it'd probably sell pretty fast, but there's quite a few listed, and I didn't want it to sit around for a long time. So I only paid 20 bucks for it, and I sold it for $89.89, 90 bucks plus shipping. So I'm gonna make some decent money on that, and we're gonna have to go really fast. That is all 6 items. I'm gonna, whenever I take my items to the post office, this one's not gonna fit. I'll put this one in its own bag, but these are the bags I use to take stuff to the post office. It is a Panera Bread catering bag. Sometimes they take them back if they bring a catering order, but it's a nice sized bag. Let's see how big this bag is. I've never actually measured it. So it's 21 by 12, and it's 17, 18 tall. So it's a good size. At OU, my wife's department, they do a lot of catering for different events and stuff, and they cater Panera like twice a week. And you know, over the time the caterers have left tons of these, they just like drop the orders and they leave. I'm sure these cost them 50 cents a piece or something. They make them by the thousands, but sometimes there's just like a massive stack, and so she'll just bring a couple home, because people end up throwing them away after they stack up so much. But I've got about half a dozen of these. This is what I use to carry all my orders to the post office with. Yeah, I can't think of anything else really important to say. Not that any of this is really important, but just wanted to share kind of what shipping looks like. Whenever I'm not talking to the camera, I'm going a lot faster. So it doesn't take me this long to ship 6 items. But anyhow, if you have any comments or questions, leave those down below. Again, you can email me directly if you want at reclaimedrepublic@gmail.com. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.